Good morning, traders, and this is your Aussie day trade setup for today. So yesterday we ended up with a pretty much a bit of a range bar, or even a hanging man, if you want to call it. Quite a long tail to the downside. The blue line is the actual close. We've got a bit of nonsense data in the chart again, and let's just zoom in a bit. Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, I mean we probably closed that gap. We'll look at it on a lower time frame now, but yeah, I'm still just looking at the daily. I'm still really not looking for a trade here. Trend is up, yes, granted, trend is definitely to the upside, but we're in an area which is going to offer a lot of resistance. Okay, so it's going to take quite a big catalyst to actually push us through at the moment. So before we get into the chart, let's just see what's happening on the rest of the world. So the US market's pretty much up and down all over the place. Crude oil is up 13% at the moment. And what else we need? We need the rand. Rand is stronger at 1857. And then we have 10 cent, which is flat, down 0.14. The US markets yesterday were down. S&P was down 0.5%. Nasdaq, which is what we need to worry about, was down 1.8%. So Alphabet earnings, or Google, came out. Earnings were missed forecast, but revenue was over forecast. So it was pretty much fairly close to forecast. So there's nothing astronomical there. And the question I think on everybody's minds with that is, do we have a turn down in advertising revenue for the likes of Google? Okay, so I think that's what a lot of analysts were waiting for, to see whether this situation we find ourselves in is affecting advertising revenue right now. Okay, so futures markets at the moment, S&P is up 1%, and the Nasdaq is up 1% as well, as is the Dow. The Dow's actually up. No, the Dow is flat. No, 0.9, sorry. So basically, US futures market is up 1% at the moment. So at this stage, probably looks like a bit of a gap up. Probably not a 1,000-point gap up, which I wasn't expecting yesterday. But nevertheless, let's just get to levels that we can trade. Okay, so first things first, let's just get across to the gap. Okay. That was pretty much the gap. And looks like we tagged it and then sold off and then came back up again. Okay, so looking at the 3-hour trend is still definitely to the upside. I just want to minimize it quickly. So trend is definitely up to the upside. You can see we are above the moving averages. My oscillators are a little bit concerning at the moment, because all they're telling me is I need to be careful. We're coming up to a pretty big level, and you need to look out for sellers stepping in. Okay, so we are overbought at the moment. And if I come to the daily, you'll see same scenario on the oscillators. We're just above the zero line though, which means it's turned into sort of a bullish trend at the moment. But look at the stochastics. We've got one crossed over, one not crossed over. So that is indecision. Okay, so it's something that I don't like trading at all. Okay, if we look at the hour on the Aussie, you can see the confusion continues. So we had this massive gap up. So let's just go through this. So there was our close, right? And this is nonsense data here. So there was our close. So we gapped up 836 points. Okay, rallied a bit to 960 points. Then what we proceeded to do is to move down in the next hour 500 points onto this breakout here before going up to the gap. So I just want to put a level on this breakout. You can see this is the area that was used as resistance here. Okay, so there's a level. There's my fractal, my inside bar. So there's my inside fractal, which indicates a level. Obviously, that one there is also a level. Okay, and we'll see what happened on the to the downside at the moment. But this picture that we see here, big up, big down, big up, big down, big up, big confusion. Okay, this is not something I really want to be trading right now. So we come down to the 15-minute here. You can see we had another level in here on the 15-minute, which coincide with the hour, and then you had another one up there which coincided with the hour. So if I drill down even further to the 5-minute, you will see this first level was missed. Okay, so there was no entry on the 5-minute, because that's where we should be waiting for our entry on the 5-minute. This one here was tagged. There was my entry. Okay, and it often does that. So, a lot of people will be aiming for the gap. A lot of the novice traders will be aiming for the gap and screaming gap close, gap close. And all that happens is these guys come in and they take it off the level. The other thing that you're going to find here is this was more than likely a Fibonacci level of this move. And there you have it. It's bang on the 61.8. Okay, so I want to be trading. So that was the entry. Perfect hindsight. But as I said yesterday, I wasn't interested in anything on the markets pretty much yesterday, and got a small trade in on the S&P, and that was pretty much my day yesterday. Okay, but looking at this at the moment, could have been watching this a little bit closer and having those levels drawn in, especially with a volatile move like that. That would have been 150 point stop loss and at least 400 points here. Okay, and then this is actually a pretty good example of price action, moving down through this level, blasting through this level, then finding support at a different level, then moving up, blasting through the support, came back with a 1 bar pull back onto it. Then you can see sort of, I just want to put another line in here. We'll take the Brooks gap. There's my Brooks gap there. You can see seller step in there, double top, move down. Where we're coming, well, we haven't tested this level yet. Inside bar off this level. There's another long. And up we go. And again, same principle. Now this level was tested. We're on it, we break through, test the next level. Where we're coming back to the next level. Find support, drive through to the next level. Okay, anyway, so there was definitely trades here if you're looking at the 5 minutes and you had your levels in. The difficult part is to ascertain whether you can leave it in or not. And if you look at the hour, you can see definitely been big up, big down through all those levels. So I anticipate exactly the same today. Today we have the Fed's meeting, and they'll come out with some scenario, probably printing more money, and that is going to affect the markets. And the question is, which way is it going to affect the markets? Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? It's very difficult to basically dictate that if they print more money, the market's going up, or if they don't print more money, the market's going down. It could go up on both those news items. Okay, so I think right now is a classic example of being patient and waiting, because in all honesty, I'm looking for these moves on the hour. I'm not looking for this kind of choppy nonsense here. So I'm looking for a trend day, day or two. So you can see from here to there, nice 1,600 points, giving you opportunities to get in on the trade all the way to the upside. Okay, so the short story is trend is up at the moment. I don't like what I'm seeing. I didn't like what I was seeing yesterday. I still don't like what I'm seeing today, and which basically means I'll be sitting on hands today. What I may do is just come down to the 5 minutes at the open to watch what transpires. Get some levels drawn in, and I think let's get those levels drawn in with you now, and then let's use what we have here. Okay, so we have a level there, so that's 46,036, and we have, let's just use this one down here. This level here is pretty much still intact as far as I'm concerned. What you could possibly do is just bring that down to there, just the top of these bars here. And I just want to look to the left here just to see if there's anything that we're missing. Okay, so this area here, 46,309, is fairly significant. Let's just get to the 4 hour. Let's move that one up to there. Yeah. Okay, so the other thing to bear in mind is, I suppose we could argue that this range has broken as well. So we've gapped up above the range and we've tested it with one bar. I'm not entirely convinced just based on the price action I'm seeing. So granted, trend is up, but I think I'd prefer a deeper pullback before getting in and long again. So if we just come down to our 15-minute now, those are the levels we've got in. These two levels here are fairly significant. Okay, this level here is top of range. So 46,036, that is the top of range, which has, we've broken through it, come back, we've tested it again with two nice pin bars, and then rallied a bit. And you could argue that we are forming a bit of a flag here as well. Okay, so for me, I want to see what happens here at 46,300. If 46,300 holds, trend is still up, we can look for a long and a fairly tight stop loss. Okay, if this trend does not hold, okay, I want to see this kind of price action or this kind of price action off it. But the opening is going to, the first hour or two is very volatile, as you can see, before you get into a trend. And it's pretty much the norm for most days, not every day. So, the last 2 days it's been like that. Well, there was also volatile. So it's very often that during the open session, it's extremely volatile and difficult to trade. Or you're going to get one or two trades in the first hour, and then relax, and then get your longer term trade through the day in. Okay, so that's kind of the area that I'm looking at. So if you're going to trade this thing on the 5 minute, this is the area that I'd be looking at here. See what happens at this low of yesterday, well, the low of yesterday, but the swing low of yesterday. See if whether that holds. Okay, so 46,309, 46,300, if that holds, then we have a decent move to the upside. The other thing to do is have a very close look at where your Brooks gaps are. Now, I'm going to, there's one right there. Okay. I'll just move that there. There's one right there. Okay. There's another one there. There's another one there. So any one of these areas here could also offer support if we're moving to the downside. Okay. So I think that's kind of my view at the moment. We did close with a break above this downward trend line. So we'll have to wait and see what transpires here. So I'm anticipating sort of a flattish open at this stage, and then possibly a move back to the upside. And that move is probably going to be capped by that area there, which is 46,700 for 46,650. And that area up there is 47,100 right to the top. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's my view at the moment. pretty much sitting on hands. I'm not trading this. That's pretty much, if you want to sit and watch 5 minutes, then that's kind of the structure you're going to have to do. But this barbed wire here and here doesn't excite me at all. Okay, big up, big down, big up, big down, big tails, big confusion. And I think the Feds are going to dictate this. So you'll probably only be able to really get a trend going tomorrow. Anyway, enough rambling from me. Hope it helps, and we'll catch you later. Cheers for now.